I'm Robin Cho. I did a lot of growing up in sort of West End, GTA. So before I started studying at Sheridan College for animation, I was studying to be an architect, and I got so far as finishing the degree and finding a sort of junior internship at a architecture firm where I was a junior technologist working in AutoCAD and sort of basic 3D programs. And it wasn't until about a year into this job where I sort of called it in and said, you know, this is not for me. And with the leftover savings that I had, I bought a plane ticket to Kyrgyzstan and went on a backpacking trip. The first thing I felt when I landed from the plane was not the relief I was expecting. I guess you could say I immediately sort of realized how important friends and family and people that are important to you are. And it's somewhat ironic because I had left and struck out on my own to prove to myself going solo and feeling that sense of freedom. And I have no idea what I'm doing, but I decided to go on a camping trip. It was overwhelmingly difficult. Funny thing is, like, people would pass by with horses while I'm sweating and in the mud, going through a story in the making, right, at the time, and having nobody to tell it to or share it with was difficult, and it really helps you, or it helped me appreciate having that audience, having someone by your side. When I came back from the backpacking trip, I had a sort of clarity of mind. What I want to do is tell stories in whatever vessel I can, and I thought what would be most fit for me would be to tell stories through drawing, through animations, which is a skill that I felt was very attractive to me and very fun for me to practice. So I tried out for the animation program at Sheridan. In the future, I would like to be in the 3D industry. I consider myself a dabbler in sort of all things. And for a time, I was very interested in children's books. Wonderful thing I think about children's books is that unchained sort of imagination, There's no rules, or you can make up rules. Rules can be totally based on fantasy. My advice to anybody that's trying to get into animation is, well, they will find that there is an enormous wealth of staggeringly talented people. Everybody falls into this sort of trap of feeling intimidated by greater talent. But the important thing is to temper that feeling with admiration, with respect and with awe. And these kinds of feelings, I think, are much more conducive to encouraging you. What I want to do after I graduate from Sheridan has been a question that I've battled with all 3 years that I've been there. I know that I do want to tell a very big and very meaningful story. I just have to arrive to that.